Up and running. Right. So, formal welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us this morning for the launch of Virtual Trade Fair.africa, our pilot event going out live on Facebook and on Zoom. So, fantastic to have you all on board. Really pleased that you're all here. This session is going to be a discussion session, primarily amongst the founders of the Chamber and the Virtual Trade Fair, but absolutely open to questions and comments. Please pop them in the chat box. Please also pop your contact details into the chat box if you like, and connect via the website onto the WhatsApp forum as well. So if you just hop onto the Virtual Trade Fair.africa website and go to, Gavin says he can't hear me. Can everyone else hear me?
I hear you.
Everyone's hearing me, Gavin?
I can hear you, but I'm getting like feedback like crazy.
Okay, so let's mute all for now. Okay, is that better? Is everyone hearing me okay now without the feedback? Fantastic. Okay, thanks for that. Please, we got rid of that little problem. So yeah, so I was saying, if you pop onto the Virtual Trade Fair.africa website and go to the information center, there's a WhatsApp group, discussion group that you can join. Please join that as well. That's specifically set up for the trade fair and interactions amongst the visitors and the speakers and the participants and everyone there. So we'd love to have your participation there. And as I say, if you can share the watch party on Facebook as well, we'd really appreciate that. So yeah, having said all of that and the basic introductions, again, a big welcome and thanks to everybody who's joined us. Trevor, perhaps you'd like to just step in and introduce yourself and the concept, and let's take it off from there.
Yeah, thank you, Ivan, and to everyone, welcome. My name is Trevor Nell. I'm the CEO of Four Ways Community Chamber, and I'm just privileged to be part of the launch of this phenomenal vehicle. Just during the next half an hour or so, we're going to tell you how this all came about and how it got off the ground and how quickly people have come together to actually make this work for the next 4 days. And I think the way that I'd like to kick it off is just have the chairman of Four Ways Community Chamber come on board and introduce himself, Mr. Sabelo Mashlalela. So I'm giving you a second chance to introduce yourself, Sabelo.
Well, thank you so much, Trevor. You know, the CEO of the chamber. You have done very well, my friend, and in leading us to be where we are today, and we really appreciate that. My name is Sabelo Mashlalela. I'm the founding member of the chamber and also the chairman of the chamber, and also I run my own business. I'm excited about this initiative that we are doing now. You know, to get to respond in the way we are doing as a chamber, and with all the businesses that are a part of the chamber, in coming up with a virtual trade fair that we are excited to open this morning is very exciting to me, because this is really a collective response to some challenges that we've had. And today we are really responding in the manner that will take our businesses to a greater heights. Thank you so much, my CEO, for the opportunity to introduce myself.
And there's some very important people who are part of this process, and we're all going to be involved in a little bit of a discussion group just now, just after the introductions, as to how we feel about this, our experiences gained, etc. So stick around as we share with you what we went through and also what we believe we're going to be entering into. But I think I'd like to introduce Dawn Olivier. I think at this point you had an important part to play in the launch of this, and perhaps introduce yourself and just quickly introduce why I believe you had an important part to play in kickstarting this operation.
Thank you, Trevor. Yeah, I'm Dawn Olivier. My company is called Designs. I joined the Four Ways Community Chamber more than a year ago, and we plan to do a physical exhibition, because Designs is primary business is exhibition design and installation. We do whole exhibitions and individual stands. So we wanted to do a collaboration with the Four Ways Community Chamber to take entrepreneurs onto a physical exhibition to make it affordable for them to promote their businesses. We plan to do this in April. And with COVID, this just destroyed our whole industry. So we collaborated with the experts at the chamber, and they decided to do a virtual trade show, which was very exciting for us, because at this point in time, we have no avenues to continue our business. So this started on the first day of lockdown. We put this together in 21 days, the first 21 days of lockdown. We created the virtual trade fair that you see opening today. So this is just giving every business the opportunity to put their products and services across where they would not have another avenue. So this is so exciting for us. So welcome everybody, and let's make it happen.
Great stuff. Thank you, Dawn. And then I think the most critical player in this operation, helping to get it off the ground, is the individual who had all the concepts all put together and already tested in other platforms, and a critical driver of the technical side of the process for us is Gavin Julian. Gavin, I'd like you to come on board and just tell from your perspective who you are and how this was cobbled together with quality little technical gizmos that I haven't got a clue how they operate. Gavin.
Yes, hi everybody. I'm Gavin Julian. I am an accountant who got into technology a long time ago and have been playing the online game for a long time, mainly because as an accountant we're taught to avoid people wherever possible. So I've played with this technology and had quite an exciting meeting during the course of last year, long before COVID was even around, and made quite a lot of money on an online forum that was essentially a whole bunch of presentations put together by lawyers and banks. And when COVID sort of came up, I thought, you know what, there's got to be a way to put this to better use, because it's not just about meetings. And did some research and then cobbled together the idea and brought it to the chamber, and was quite impressed by the enthusiasm, even though the technology was way beyond most of the people I was talking to, which was, that impressed me, because, you know, often when I talk, people think I'm a Martian anyway. So they listened, and we got it up. So all yours, Trevor.
So it was only because I couldn't understand what you were talking to, and I was too embarrassed to let anyone else know that I didn't know what was on the go. So I referred to my partner in crime, who I got together with in founding with other founder members here, the Four Ways Community Chamber. So I'm going to bring on Jasper Klute, an important part of this team in getting this off the ground today.
Well, I think this is I said to my wife last night, it's impossible to do these kind of things as a one-man show. And I was just blessed to have, and it all started, well, the threads coming together for me is a combination of threads with me running into Trevor about 3 odd years ago at the gym when he was working out seriously and I was just spraying myself with sweat to cash in my discovery points. But we started to strike up a conversation, and that led to say, you know, let's start doing some work together. And that started with almost just a coffee club session around the table here at our Eagles Nest Lodge and Conference Center. And out of that developed the first founding members of the chamber. And we started to become more organized towards the end of last year. From the first time I met Trevor, he was mentioning this thing of 1 million people times $1 a month kind of event. But he never had the technology, but he had the vision. Almost during that same time, slightly earlier, I met or reconnected with an old friend, and that's Gavin Julian. And like you said, he's not of this planet. He's one of these freaks of nature who just, when other people play on their Facebook and their WhatsApp, he would explore further technology. Anyway, he helped me to set up a whole professional institute for our banking system. And that brought it all together when we, together with Ivan, formed the management of the chamber. And then prior to even COVID, when none of us could have foreseen what was going to happen, Gavin already tried it out in his own private practice. So when the crisis happened and we looked at each other as a group to say, what do we do for our members? The technology was there, the man was there. So I think it's another example that when the time arrived, the people are there already. We just need the catalyst to excite them. And I think for us in a positive way, COVID was that catalyst. And it has created a whole new economy. And I think personally for me, that excites me is where our thinking was fairly limited to a locality here in Fourways. All of a sudden, in the space of 3 months, over and above the fact that today we launch an international virtual trade fair that will go into a virtual mall, is that the message that we have on our heart and how to help people grow and develop their businesses is all of a sudden the borders have been removed. And we can now reach out. And I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I didn't know about people like Mark Jarrett and the people from the UK and places like that. So it's just amazing for me and exciting for me to see how people embrace the technology and embrace this new platform. And we're excited to be part of a further step in this development today, and which is the trade fair. So welcome on board, everybody, and thanks to everybody who has helped to make it happen, and Dawn in the back and her team, and Gavin and the design team, and Ivan in his quiet way played a massive role at the back to help people to just don't know how to switch on a computer, and then patiently would just tell them, okay, click here, click there. So folks, I'm excited to be part of this team. This is a great team.
Absolutely. Ivan, now where do I click to get hold of Irene Clue? Don't worry, I've learned the lesson there. So without a shadow of doubt, I'm going to go to Irene first, and then I'm going to get to Ivan. Irene, I'd love you to come on board because you've been a very important component of this team. Lunchtime, every day, 12 o'clock to 12:30, you've been there and compiling the lists. So I hope we get to see you, unless you haven't done your hair, as some of the members on here haven't done their hair already. They've confessed. So come on board and just share your thoughts on opening, who you are, how you got involved, and where you believe this is going.
Good morning, Trevor. Good morning, everybody. It's very exciting to be in the beginning stages of the launch of the virtual trade fair. It has been quite a ride for Dawn and I. You know, we work closely. Every day was a learning curve. You know, every day taught us something new. Every day new decisions were made. Every day we had new people come on board. So from my perspective, Trevor and the team, it's been absolutely fantastic to work with the Chamber. The Chamber has been a huge support system for Dawn and I, considering the situation that us and many other people are in. So for me, I think, you know, from Kevin and Trevor, yourself, and everybody else that's been involved with this from the beginning stages, I think give yourselves all a good tap on the shoulder. It's been a great ride. It happened very fast. It was done in the time frame that we did this in was unbelievable. So I'm just very grateful to have been part of the team since day one, and it's been worth my everyday 12 o'clock meeting. And let's see where we go from here. Thank you.
Great stuff. Thank you, Irene. And then obviously the most important member to me, because I don't know where to actually switch this laptop on every morning. But Ivan, come on board and take your bow and tell us who you are and give us your impressions of working with some of these people who are technophobes in developing this site.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, I don't know that those comments are suitable for a public forum like this, but no, not at all. You know, it's something I've built a career out of, is working with non-technical people, being a technical person. So it's something I'm used to. Absolute pleasure to help people who are eager and keen and want to get on board. And I think that's what's happened. You know, we've found an absolute influx of folk who've you know, jumped on board in this last week. It's been an absolute amazing experience. You know, we spent weeks and weeks building the platform, the concepts, the ideas, and getting the messages out, and you know, and it's happened. I mean, I've had phone calls, you know, out of the blue from people around the country, you know, and around the world. So, you know, connecting with the various networks around the world has also been an amazing experience that has essentially grown out of this environment. You know, COVID combined with the virtual trade fair, I think, has been an absolute an amazing exercise for us in this local operation. So yeah, really excited, really impressed with what's happened and what's come together, and really appreciative of all the folk that have climbed on board and are participating now and on this call. So fantastic. Welcome everybody. Really happy to have you on board. And I think we can just take this from strength to strength with everybody participating. So really appreciative. Thank you.
So I've just given you a big round of applause from our side for living with me and getting me on board. So anyone who wants to give a round of applause, go to those reactions and there you go. Even do it visually. Now, you know where I'd like to go to. If you get an indication here, I see we're at about 20 minutes into the session, which is roughly what we've advised speakers to do. Come on board, anything between 20 to 30 minutes, and then we'll go through to a discussion forum where everyone can get involved in the process. So this gives you an idea of the sort of time. It just disappears very quickly. Gavin, I'd like you to come back on board now and just give us the key elements, the most exciting elements around virtual trade fair that you've brought together that everyone can take advantage of. If you can take them down in priority order from top item through to 3, 4, 5, 6, what are they?
Okay, thanks, Trevor. I think the important thing is that I try to make it as simple as possible for people to just navigate this whole site. So essentially, the visitors can see everything. They can just pop on and go visitor access and go to the information desk and then go to all sorts of places. I've also added, we added a what do you call it, a multi-vendor e-commerce capability to the site. In other words, anyone who's an exhibitor and wants a store and wants to be able to sell stuff on the site simply goes to exhibitor registration. Off they go and register. And once they've registered, what happens is that they actually get to create a store which can be seen by going to the exhibitors directories. And once they're in, they've created their store, and I'm just going to pick one at random here. Shall we say what? Let's pick Ivan's one, PSF Services and Solutions. Yeah, there's his store. There's the things he's offering at the price he's offering. You can add it to the basket and off you go. And all of the payment gateways and all that sort of stuff are dealt with in the background. So as a vendor, you don't need to know all the technical stuff. It's done for you. Then also, one of the most important places here is a networking lounge. And on that networking lounge, there's a whole bunch of links to all sorts of things there. And including the, hey, keep me informed about when we switch on the virtual mall, which is the next step in this process. Also, if you want to get technical assistance or if you want to go to the auditorium, but also one of the interesting ones is a discussion forum. This discussion forum is a link to a WhatsApp group, which you can join. And I'm going to join the chat here. And again, you can either download WhatsApp on your PC, or down below that, you can see there's a thing that says use WhatsApp web. If you go to use WhatsApp web, then what happens is it joins the group that we're talking about, which is the Virtual Trade Fair Africa group. And you're in the discussion. So I do suggest that people join this, because there's a way that you can actually, and remember, once you're in here, and let's take, for example, Ivan's message over here, I can just reply privately to Ivan, and guess what? I'm now talking to Ivan from that group, and away we go. So using the technology is not all that hard. I've tried to put together stuff that's familiar to everybody, because one of the big problems is that I play with some tools that are terribly complicated, and people have to spend time learning them. So I've tried to pick technologies that people already use. And basically what we have here is a place where you can show stuff off, speak to people via this forum that we're on at the moment, have discussions with people via WhatsApp, which is a familiar tool. And all of these things have just been brought together in a single place. So hopefully people enjoy this sort of thing and begin to realize that technology is not that frightening, and we can all carry on doing business if we use the right stuff. So that's it. Back to you guys.
Right, so what I'm going to do is share a screen and just tell you how I feel with this technology. I don't know if you recognize the guy, Indiana Jones, and this is how I feel. So my role in this operation, and I want everyone to understand exactly the approach, attitude, and philosophy that we have behind everything that we do at Four Ways Chamber. And that is, don't have great ideas and leave them on the shelf untested just because you don't have the time, or you don't have people with the enthusiasm or the skill to get things off the ground. And I feel very much like this guy, Indiana Jones, and I think quite a few people in the team probably also feel like this. So when the decision was, hey, let's just get this off the ground, we can see what it's about, let's launch it imperfectly. And don't wait for things to be perfect. So I feel that what we've started off with here today is we've got a little stick, we've got a couple of rubber bands, we've got some balsa wood propellers, the rudder in there. I found a little red ribbon, which and a pair of scissors, and I think someone was actually going to use that to open the event. I actually tied the rudder in the background, and the plane has taken off. So we're busy out there flying at the moment, and over the next 4 days we're going to hit a little bit of turbulence. But the philosophy is here: if you don't go out there, if you don't put yourself out into the global space, and be prepared to meet these sort of obstacles and challenges, you're never ever going to build a massive franchise. So I want us all to build a global presence out of this, as big as the Indiana Jones franchise, and we share it between all of ourselves. This is big. So I hope you get the idea of the type of philosophy we have. This is not going to be perfect. We're going to have hassles. Eskom is going to turn around and say, listen, we want some more income from you, and then they're going to pull the plug. Yesterday, as I was working with ADSL, someone stole the lines between Johannesburg and Pretoria for about 6 hours, so I couldn't communicate with any of the speakers. I had to communicate with them later in the evening when someone put 2 wires together and we were connected. That's life. We just get it done. So I'm excited about the potential here, and I hope you guys have got the idea of how we're going to work together. I'm going to come back to Sabella because I'd like you to come on board and just perhaps share with people what your interpretation has been of our philosophies and how we operate, and what has excited you about what this project can do for government initiatives at the moment. So I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Trevor. You know, for me, what is so exciting about what we have done is that we have responded, and we continue to respond. In other words, we adapt very quickly as a chamber and all our businesses, our members, very quickly, and we are not shy to go out there and test certain ideas. And in this particular case, we have had a big challenge, which is the impact of COVID-19. And it really has affected a lot of businesses. But what the chamber has done, in fact, is used that challenge to fast track its program. So the chamber has always wanted to have an impactful business globally and really to go in the global stage, to be relevant to for our own members, but also to be relevant to the global community from a business point of view. Now we have been fast-tracked to the level where we really have become a player, but using a virtual space to still do the business. We are now getting into we are now already in the fourth industrial revolution. This is a perfect opportunity to demonstrate how we can participate in that space. Now, I know that government also is looking at opportunities to collaborate with business, how best government can work with business. Now we have an opportunity here where we go into virtual space, virtual trading. We're going to virtual mall, a trade mall. That's where the business is going. I mean, with the whole economic impact globally, we have become innovative. We have come out now with new ideas of how we can do business virtually. So for me, I think this, from the chamber's point of view, I think the chamber is ahead of the time. It's really doing very well, responding very well, being proactive and innovative, and really going very, very, very going far in terms of its vision and its relevance to the global space.
So I just want to inform everyone that we've put through Sabelo, who is a very humble man and has come through working in 1996 with the then initial government advisory panel. And listen, I think I'm demeaning the levels. In fact, Sabelo, why don't you just, I always ask you just to tell people where you came from in the development of South Africa from the early days. So, why don't you just actually add to that? And you've got 60 seconds to give 20 years of your life's work.
All right, thanks a lot, Trevor. Look, I was privileged in the early stages of the new dispensation. In '94, I was part of the team that organized I was part of the Independent Electoral Commission. I was part of the team that organized the democratic election in '94. And immediately after that, I was then part of the first administration, the government of the democratic government. That was the time when President Nelson Mandela was leading that administration. So I had the privilege of working in that administration in between the period of 95 to 99, and then I went to the private sector in 2000. So I also had the privilege of being involved in certain projects that national government-led projects. Where I had the privilege of serving the country. You know, there are quite a few projects that I've done that were really sponsored by government. Then I went to, when I was in the private sector, I had the privilege of working in Bidvest, you know, where I had the honor of being part of the board as a group commercial executive and director of many of the biggest companies, where I served under the leadership of the current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, when he was the chairman of the board at that time. I hope that summarizes a bit, Trevor.
He's been naughty because he's missed out what happened in 2010.
Oh, okay. All right. So I was also privileged to, in 2006, and you remember in 2006, we put together a bid for the FIFA World Cup. So I was part of the team that wrote the bid book that secured the FIFA World Cup. At that time, we were coming from a background where in 2004, if you recall, we had attempted to secure a FIFA World Cup, and we lost it. I think we lost it to Germany, if I'm not mistaken. That was the 2006 World Cup, but the bid was done earlier. So in 2006, we put together a bid for the country, and then we secured the FIFA World Cup in 2010. Yeah. So I was responsible at that time to put together a case for all the key stakeholders in South Africa to demonstrate to FIFA how all key stakeholders in South Africa are fully behind the bid. So I had to secure inputs from government, private sector, all kinds of stakeholders in South Africa to demonstrate the support that the FIFA World Cup enjoyed in South Africa.
Great, thank you, Sabella. And I think that background is important because part of the process and why we pushed to make certain that this venture took off on target date is because we've considered what is happening in our economic environment at the moment. And there is absolutely no doubt that business across the board needs every help, every stimulation that it can get. And we've asked Sabella, with all of his background and experience, to help draft the proposal to government, where we will take exactly this forum and everything that we learn over the next 4 days, and we'll work in a PPP, a private-public partnership. So that proposal is being put together, and Sabella, with all of his background, is making certain that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and we gain the experience out of this. So this is important, and part of this is we're turning around and saying, listen, we're going to go out there and sponsor 1,000 businesses if government would like to come in and play, and it may be even bigger than that. So Sabella, I'm not going to let you go any further because we've gone past the sort of timing that we actually want to give to individual speakers and allow others to come on board and perhaps just make a comment or have a discussion. And I want to introduce you folk to perhaps the world's best facilitator of individuals on Zoom. And that man is Ivan Anderson, my business partner and one of our founder members. So Ivan, I'm going to let you demonstrate how you control people like Mark Jarrett on there. And I can see he's already waving, he wants to get on.
Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, no pressure in that introduction, is there really? So, but really appreciate it. Thanks so much. So, yeah, so what I'd like to do is just, I'm going to whip around the room very quickly, folks. So I'm not looking for much more than a basic introduction. And if you have a question or a comment, and then we'll move on, because as Trevor said, we have another speaker up in half an hour. So we'd like to give a little bit of a gap between sessions. So let's take it away. So Mark, seeing that he picked on you, and I think you're probably the next best facilitator, but probably far more proficient in WhatsApp groups and other things as well than I am, and a better networker. So Mark, over to you.
Morning, everyone. Hello. Warm greetings from the still just United Kingdom to South Africa. My name's Mark. I spent the bulk of my career in telecoms. I was first to market with those ghastly ringtones and logos back in the day when every other person had a Nokia. Over the years, I built up a network, as we all have, and now I've always enjoyed connecting people. So that's what I now do professionally. I connect dots. I run 88 WhatsApp groups covering all kinds of subjects. So this could be mergers and acquisitions, investment opportunities, gold, mental health. There's even one for avocados, which I started off as a joke. but it's kind of morphed into a kind of avocado utopian heaven. Anyway, you're all invited to any of those groups. Just hit me up on WhatsApp, of course, and I'll send you a list of those groups.
Thanks, Mark. I think let's move it on from there, because as I say, we are a little bit on a tight time schedule. So Sue,
do it.
Sue, let's get across to you.
Sue Skerpers, owner of the Confident Teens Men's Tuition and 4L Training Solutions. So I'm on later on today, so chat again.
Super, thanks Sue, and we're looking forward to that one. Peter Kutzer, let's get across to you.
Morning, Ivan. I've got a background in IT. I used to be a SAP consultant for most part of my life. Retired in 2016, and I started a new company, Caracal Software Solutions, and our aim is to implement mobile workforce solutions for service organizations that delivers a service at a client site.
Great, thanks Peter. Let's now go to Trevor Kettler, and then I'm going to go to Karina Reid.
Hi, morning everybody. I'm a business strategic analyst. I focus on how to develop people in companies to get them to think on a higher level and to help the business grow, especially in the fourth industrial revolution, and that's where my expertise lies. I will also be chatting a bit later, so tune in at 2 o'clock.
Great, thanks Trevor. Karina, and then we'll go across to Stella.
Morning, Ivan. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm one of those who haven't yet brushed my hair. Just a quick introduction. I'm the co-founder and director of XB. XB is a place where anyone can create their own app within an app and be live within a few minutes. So I created a live app for a client this morning in about 30 minutes. So, and I'm such a supporter of this group and what you've achieved. You must just have an amazing takeoff. Thank you.
Right, thanks Stella. Thanks Karina. Across to Stella, and then we'll go to Chris Black.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you very much for FCCC for this opportunity. I'm Stella Kutsia. I'm an ex-professional accountant. My new business is divorce mediation. You can check me out on the virtual mall on FHL Divorce Mediation. And I assist people through the difficult time of getting divorced. Thank you.
Great, thanks Stella. Chris, and then we'll pop across to Louise.
Hi everybody, my name is Chris Black. I am the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Dynamic Business Startup Partners. We're in the training space, getting new people into business and helping them to position their businesses so that they can grow and sustain. We work through a network of partners in 24 different, we've been going for 24 different years and in 22 different nations. And so, yeah, it's great to be a part of this. All the best for everybody. And I'll be doing a speaking slot on Sunday between 11 and 12. Thanks.
Thanks, Chris. Louise, if you're with us, and then to Mpuseng. Louise, can you unmute your mic? Are you with us? Otherwise, let's go across to Mpuseng if Louise is not able to. Okay, we seem to...
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mpuseng, and I am a leadership coach. I help, in particular, women to finish strong in what they have started in profession, in relationships out of professions. My background is in human resources, and my passion is in people development. And I'm looking forward to, I'm having my talk, I think, on Sunday afternoon. So I'm looking forward to share more with you then.
Super, thanks, Mpuseng. Appreciate that. Louise, if you are able to unmute, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll try and come back to you later. So let's go across to Peter Brown.
Hi everyone, thanks a lot. Peter Brown, Farming by Faith. I'm doing land linking to between agripreneurs and farmers to address poverty and income inequality. That's very short. Thanks. Bye.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Peter. Andrew Lobban, and then let's go across to Becky after Andrew.
Oh, put me on the spot there quickly, Ivan. Okay, I'm a financial planner and a wealth builder, and I also have another little company that does financial management consulting. So for any small businesses that require a financial manager and don't want to pay for a full-time financial manager, I do that as well, but concentrating mainly on saving people money in terms of premiums and making them money in terms of their retirement savings and other savings as well that they have targets for.
Great, thanks, Sandy. Becky, if you're there, and then we'll go across to Sean. Becky, are you with us? Okay, let's go to Sean. We can come back to Becky. Sean, you're unmiked, so let's hear from you. Sean? Okay. Sean, I think, is unmiked but not listening to us. So let's go to Grace and then to Isabel. Grace, are you with us? No? Okay. Isabel, are you there?
Hi, everyone. My name is Isabel. I am from JT Communication Solutions. So we are PR, media, communications, events, and marketing. It's an honor, and we're excited to be part of this virtual trade fair, and we hope to network, get talking about business, and see how we can advance our networks as well as an organization. So we do anything digital. We do video production, we do podcast production, and we're looking to expand and grow our business and offer this service during this time of the pandemic. Thank you, and hopefully we'll get to speak more with some of you and get to see how we can advance our businesses together. Thank you.
Fantastic, thanks, Isabel. Nissi, let's come across to you. Nissi, are you with us?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, we've got Becky instead. Okay, Becky, all right.
Yes. My name is Becky Landsberg. I'm in a health and wellness industry, and I am very much passionate about, the health and how the people actually eat and how they empower the other families to make sure that, we've got the health in our hands, because if you don't have health and you have the wealth, it is not a good combination. So I'm very passionate, and I'll be meeting with you in my store. And I've got a lot of product range that are organic, that are free from all the chemicals and the radicals. And if you visit my store, you will see actually that it is worth living the lifestyle. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Becky. Mustafa, let's get across to you. Mustafa, are you with us? Okay, so we a couple of folks that we haven't managed to raise there. Grace, are you with us?
Hi, everybody.
Mustafa's okay. Right, we lost him again.
I'm here, Ivan.
You there, Grace? Okay, let's go with you, Grace.
I'm back here now. Can you hear me? Let him go. I will go after him. That's fine.
Okay, Mustafa, yeah, go for it.
Oh, my internet is not stable. Can you let me change the Wi-Fi?
Okay, we'll come back to you. Okay, Grace, I think take over there.
My name is Grace. I'm the founder and CEO of Luxury Exclusives. We are a digital platform that aggregates luxury brands from across Africa. We are exhibiting at the virtual trade fair, and we will be able to connect more with you guys to see how we can collaborate further. Hopefully we can chat more and create business opportunities together. Thank you.
Great, thanks, thanks, Grace. Sean, are you with us now? I think we must start on you. Sean or Louise, if either of you with us. Otherwise, I think I've touched on everybody. I think there are a couple of folks that don't have mics, so I'm not going to go to them. So if we don't have Sean or Louise unmiked and listening, can I just make a request? We'd like everybody, if you wouldn't mind, just to put on your videos briefly. We'd love a group photograph. And if you can also pop your contact details into the chat box. We would appreciate that as well. So if you can put your video on, we would appreciate it. And as I say, details into the chat box, and then we'll wrap up the session for the morning.
Andrew, you got a hair out of place over your eyebrow there. I'm ready to take the group pick the moment I get a few people on board, and I'd love to have Nisi just to have a comment. I don't recall hearing from Nisi.
We did try to get to him, but he didn't seem to be unmiked. But Nisi, if you are there, yeah.
Okay, because Nisi has a great platform throughout Africa that people have got to be aware of, and he's going to be talking one of these fun days. I can't remember. I've been dealing with so many people here. Where are all your photographs? Come on board. I need you. Start your video. All right, some of you are shy. Karina, you got to brush your hair when you get up on these platforms early in the morning. Right, I'm going to take a pic now. 3, 2, 1, but I'm waiting for that comment in the chat forum to go down. This is called flying. Okay, I'm taking a pic here. Thank you.
Okay, thanks everybody. We're going to end this call off now, I think, then, and we'll be back on at 9 o'clock with the launch, well, not the pre-launch. Let's call it the pre-launch of Your Partnerships Global UK networking operation, introduced to us by Mark Jarrett, run by David Brock in the UK, and we're launching it here in South Africa on Monday, but we're going to have a pre-launch chat at 10 o'clock today. So we'll see you a bit later. Cheers now.